welcome back, or welcome to Recruiting Board. I'm Alex DeGraw, where I cover and promote football around New England. Take this time, like, share, and of course, subscribe to the best family here on YouTube. Especially because I'm only 3,000 subscribers away from passing Boston College. Let's do that. Like the video and comment somebody I should interview next. It helps with the algorithm. If you want to talk about the next couple months of your summer leading up to camp.
The NESCAC, we have kind of a, in order to offer, you're talking about offering support in admission, we have to go through an official pre-read with our admissions office. We were able to start to submit those pre-reads on June 15th, and we start to hear back on the results of those pre-reads on July 1st. And then once you know what the pre-read is, then you can start to offer support or kind of figure out who are the kids that make the most sense for you to actively go after and say, hey, listen, you have an opportunity here. Do you want it? Most of our recruiting is centered around early decision. So when you're making an offer, it's they would go early decision to your school. July 1st, that you get some results back, and then that next 6 weeks or so prior to camp, you're trying to get as many kids to maybe jump on board, or you're starting to set up visits for game day visits and trying to nail it down. So that's where we're at in our process.
And the NESCAC has different recruiting than anyone else, Coach.
Yeah.
Anyone else. If you want to just talk about having to recruit as an NESCAC coach, because I feel like you've already done your homework on these guys.
There's pros and cons, right? We talk about you can't go on the road. There's a lot of coaches who are like, are you kidding me? That's awesome. You don't have to go traipse around to different high schools and going to do home visits. The NESCAC does not allow us to do that. We obviously are out and about doing all sorts of summer camps, getting out to evaluate as many kids as we can, and obviously trying to get as many kids to visit as we can. It is the most restrictive conference, and yet we're very national schools. There's a high interest level in these schools, and people want to attend them because they're phenomenal schools, not only academically, but athletically. Our process is trying to find the kids that we think can get into the school and matriculate and do the things that we need them to do, both on and off the field.
But let's talk about a big win for the NESCACs this year. You had spring ball, Coach.
Yeah, no, it was funny. They gave us spring ball in 22. Because that was kind of a COVID measure. Then they took it away. They wanted to reassess. And so we got a little bit smaller version, right? The NCAA allows 15 practices. We were able to do 10. The NCAA allows 4 uppers practices. We're just using helmets, but it was phenomenal, right? The idea of getting on the field with your players, especially your younger players, that when you come in as a first year, you come right into camp. There's a lot of transition. We start school pretty quickly. Those kids they oftentimes don't really have an opportunity to learn, understand, develop. And so that spring ball for those young kids especially was amazing. And I commented to our coaches, like, I can't believe we haven't had it. It just seemed like, where would we be if we didn't have those 10 practices? You feel like you're much more prepared to come in August 20th and hit the ground running. It was pretty awesome, and I'm excited. I think it's here to stay. I'm super excited about that.
And what did you learn in your first spring?
Part of the reason I think we got it is the relationships with your players. The spring practice is just a little different, right? You're not building to a game. So you're getting an opportunity to spend time with the kids, intimately with your position groups, etc., and just having fun playing football. That was a big part of it, is the relationship building, making those connections with your players. But then obviously we're able to install all the different changes that you're thinking about. And it's like a dry run. Some things are good, some things are bad. You keep stuff, you throw stuff out. Before, we're doing that August 25th. Now you have an opportunity to assess, have it on film, etc. So it was awesome. The kids loved it. It was proportional. 3 weeks, 10 practices. It wasn't crazy. I think we'll all benefit from it, not only on the field, but I think that those relationships, just that the building of team in the off season, which is so critical, I think that's going to be a good thing moving forward.
If you want to talk about the Mammoths for the 2024 season, some of your returners, the landscape of what your team will look like this year.
We have not had the success the last few years as we had the previous 10. We had a great run, winning a bunch of championships. We have been a little bit middle of the road the last few years, which is not where you want to be. Really excited about the team we have coming back. This is the last year of the COVID holdovers, right? These kids were impacted. So, we have a bunch of fifth-year players that are coming back. So I'm really excited about the senior leadership that we have, and really just that progression of development. It's a great group. We had a great spring, and I'm super excited to see what we can do in 24. Do I think we can win every game that we play? Yes. Do I think we could lose every game we can play? Yes, right? The NESCAC is incredibly competitive. You got to show up every week. Every week's a championship game. We don't have playoffs. Every week is about building momentum to try and the elusive 9-0, which oftentimes that's what it takes to win a championship. I'm super excited about where we are. We're still trying to figure out the quarterback spot. We're going to have some competition there, but we had an excellent spring and super excited about our roster coming into 24 season. Team 143. I mean, that's, we kind of branded that, highlight a little bit the tradition that exists at a place like Amherst. But every year is different. People ask me, you've been here a long time. 143 is totally different than 142, right? You have different senior leadership. And so you're trying to build and craft that team to see what they can do. What is their identity? What is their culture? And so we're excited where 143 is.
Who are some of the senior leaders you'll be relying on for 143?
So, Anthony Lenahan will be a two-time captain. That doesn't happen very often at places like Amherst. Anthony's a defensive lineman out of St. Joe's in Philadelphia, just an outstanding football player. So we're excited for what he brings to the table. I'll kind of go through the four captains.
Yep.
Philip Slaughter is another defensive lineman from North Carolina, been a 3-year starter for us. Great leadership. Great energy. Jack Roberge is a tailback from Connecticut. Just been a really good football player for us. Great leader, wants to be a Navy SEAL. And if you know Jack, there's no question he'll accomplish that. I mean, he is just a locked-in human being who grinds it every single day. And then Owen Gatos is a slot receiver for us. If you saw Owen, Owen's not the biggest guy, maybe not even the fastest guy, but is an amazing receiver, understands football, can get open, is impossible to cover. He's one of those guys. And so those guys will be kind of that foundation of leadership. And our defense was outstanding last year. We feel we return a lot of players. Luke Harmon is a rising junior from St. Albans in D.C., plays our Viper position. He was a first-team All-Leaguer, our team MVP. We're going to rely heavily on that crew. I'm excited about the group, and we'll see. We report August 20th, and we're excited to see what we can do.